Namaste everyone. Namaste Shijit. Namaste Ilvika.
Namaste.
For the audience, I'm Amita. I'm from Chiranjeev Gurukul, and it's a wonderful day to have from the House of Malacca Spice Shijit, who is the CEO, and we have Ilvika Chandavarkar, who is the research and business development manager for the House of Malacca Spice. So today we're going to be sharing light on the Mitra Sampat practices which have been employed at Malacca Spice, which is an organization which is using a lot of Arthashastra principles, and Mitra Sampat is one of the principles that they have put into practice. And today we are going to be getting to know from Shrijit and Ilvika many of the interactions that they've had with their mitras. So we'll dive right in. Yeah. So Ilvika, could you share with us your overall beliefs about the existence of mitras within Malacca Spice?
Yeah, so I feel that mitras are super crucial in any organization, and especially so at Malacca Spice. Shrijit can attest to the fact that we've had vendors and relationships with franchisees which have spanned many years through this 26-year-old journey of ours. And one of the most important factors that we really believe in is the alignment of purpose when it comes to two different parties coming together to do something. So and the most important, of course, is their enthusiasm when they come together, because you can't start any mitrata or relationship without there being some equal enthusiasm to achieve maybe like a similar goal, which Shrijit can add a little more about.
Yes. So I think no business can exist if there is no mitras. Unless we find a bunch of people whose purposes and enthusiasm is aligned to your purpose, no business can survive. And like in nature, everything is an ecosystem. And for the ecosystem to work, all these like-minded things have to come together. And only then any business can be successful. So I think Mitra is one of the major foundations for any business to even start. Forget about being successful.
Another interesting bit in Chanakya management, which we refer to quite a lot during our journey, is that there's a sutra which mentions that two metals have to be at an equal temperature to come together and to actually blend. And I think that is one very guiding principle that we also keep in mind. And as Shrijit mentioned, that symbiotic relationship is super crucial for them to even begin warming up, I suppose. Yeah.
The most significant mitras that we have at Malacca Spice is our vendors. So we have vendors who have been with us for 26 years. Right from the first day we opened our door, we have vendors who have been with us. So why I say the vendors is also significant, because with what we faced in 2020 with COVID was when we saw how they are so aligned to our purpose. It was so difficult to get the supplies into the restaurant, and with disruption in revenue generation, to have that business continuity in place without actually having the cash flows. We saw how they are aligned to us, where we both had a conversation and they agreed that let's not talk about the outstandings, but let's just talk about what is now in the current, and pay me for the current so you guys can survive and we guys will survive. And once there are better times, we will look at the past dues. So that's the alliance that we have with our mitras. And we also, as a brand, to honor the enthusiasm they showed, as soon as we got into a better situation, we made sure that their dues were cleared, and they also got out of the difficult situation that we were in. So I think our vendors has been our strongest example of the Mitra alliance that we have.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Ilvika, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, there is vendors, of course, are the center of a lot of our alliances or mitrata in general. Another very interesting one which came up very recently for us, which I think also demonstrates the point that we were just discussing earlier, was that we worked a lot with beverage and dessert consultants for a bit in the middle to actually create a bar program. Now we are a restaurant who's known like very well for food, and the beverage program was not really like, it was a good program, but there was nothing new which we had been able to add, because we also didn't have that kind of experience in that zone at that time. And we were able to collaborate with somebody who came in and really helped us to set up the entire thing. And for them, of course, there was this, they were also looking to really establish consultancy in Pune, so that was their reason for doing it. And they of course wanted to see how the Pune market behaves, and they were very excited to come in and do really great cocktails. And for us it was a great learning opportunity as well, where we got to actually create this practice. And as a result of this partnership, we have been able to win awards both nationally as well as travel internationally. So because they were very well known and in the industry, and really helped us out. And similarly with our dessert program as well, we were able to work with somebody who really came in and taught us a lot in terms of how we could improve our desserts. And now of course we are experimenting on our own, and our chefs also have become very enthusiastic, and the menu of course has modified multiple times in both cases after. So it really opened a window for us. So I think the kind of people that you decide to work with also really is important. So yeah, I think that's from my end
It's
to a
very
successful.
inspiring to hear about
Yeah.
success stories. Yeah, it's very nice to hear that. But conversely, could you discuss an alliance that has failed to meet with your expectations, and what do what are your learnings from these experiences?
So, mitrata not always is successful. There will always be instances where the mitra is very aligned to your purpose and is very enthusiastic to work with you in the beginning. And as the years pass, there will be instances that or situations that he goes through, because of which he will not be able to align to your purpose. So we have had instances. Classic example has been one of our franchisees who got financially a bit stretched, and he couldn't honor his commitment of payments to us or to the government or to the employees or to even our vendors. We tried to solve this amicably by raising it with him for a good 7 to 8 months. But then what was happening is that it was actually hampering the 26-year-old reputation that we built as a company. And that's when we realized that it is time for us to part ways amicably, because if that mitra instead of adding value, if he's hurting the reputation of the brand, we felt that it's time for us to separate. So instances will always come that he's a mitra today, but tomorrow he may not be a shatru, but he may not be adding value. But it doesn't mean that the mitra will again not become a mitra. So we should be open to that and should very amicably part ways.
So another bit to just add to what Srijit already shared. In the Panchatantra, there's an entire segment of stories which is dedicated to both mitrata, and even more stories which are dedicated to how to when it is time to move away from mitra. So I think the most crucial bit is how understanding when it is time to call it quits. And again, as Srijit so correctly mentioned, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get a chance to work with the said person again. We've had experiences with some long-standing relationships which we had to actually tell people that this isn't working out for both of us right now, and eventually in the future, if we can revisit this again. And then having a very nice conversation about it is something really crucial, because it not only saves the effort and energy from both sides, but it also helps you to maintain the relationship to some extent. As they also say in the Arthashastra, there are 3 ways. So there's either a Shatru, a Mitra, or an Ari. So it is better for them to move to an Ari rather than a Shatru immediately. And if you break the relationship off in a very sour way, or you wait for it to sour further, it becomes even more difficult. So we've also had these difficult conversations with people over the years, sometimes where things have not really worked out for us.
So, do you have any stories or do you have any examples of when something went wrong and you separated and but you've come to a point when maybe it's time for you to kind of start working with the same mitra again? Do you have any such examples?
So yes, we have had a vendor of ours who was with us for a very long time. For a very long time means close to 15 years. Who was supplying us a particular material. In fact, we have two vendors. Now when I think about it, but gradually we realized that this person was taking us for granted. So he was giving us false rates. He was not giving us the quality that we needed. He was not giving us on time, and a 16-year-old relationship we had to break with him, where we had to tell him that I think it's time where you are not upping your game as much as the brand has upped its game. So then we had to ask him that now it's time to move on, and we broke off on a good relationship with all our dues cleared and all of that, and we told him that, boss, if it comes back that we have to come back to you, we'll come back to you. So we have had instances with especially vendors that we had to break 15-year-old relationships.
Yeah, we also had a case where we had somebody who used to come in and handle multiple things for us in terms of social media and stuff like that. So in that case, it was a 5-year-old relation, which was a very nice and nice relationship, but it had come to a point where even we internally were having issues to actually manage to utilize somebody's potential to the best. I think that is also a very crucial part, where sometimes you have to realize that okay, this doesn't not every relationship will be an exact fit for you. So we had to tell him that okay, we are going to come back at some point of time, and we changed the deliverables slightly to an extent where it doesn't entirely cut the person off, but at the same time it is something that we can actually utilize well and work with, because ultimately we were trying to really improve the way that we do things and structure it further. So I think at some point you have to you have to take a call as to this.
So just like any relationship, even with a mitra, you have to nurture the relationship. Nurturing the relationship means having more frequent conversations with the mitra so that he is always aligned to the purpose. Otherwise, it's very easy with him picking up different tasks or us picking up different tasks that we go in different directions. So the first step is that as a business, you have to always nurture that relationship. Never take any relationship for granted. Now, when we see that this person is wavering, what we first do is that we alert him on it. We tell him that this is something that is not getting aligned and we need to correct this. We give him enough opportunities to correct it. It's not that we cut any relationship with a snap. We give him enough time and we tell him what is expected from him, and we also give him a time frame to correct it. Once he doesn't do that is when we say that now it's time for us to part. Now, even before that, what's very important is that to follow the Anuman Pratyaksha and the Pratyaksha Paroksha and the Anuman, because your managers will feed you with different kind of data. You will also see it in the numbers, but it's very important for you to go and verify it before breaking any relationship, because sometimes the guy who's reporting that relationship to you may not be knowing that person for that long that you know him personally. So it's very important for you to understand whether what is being reported is correct, verify it, then get into a conversation. And I always recommend that don't allow anybody else to do this conversation. It is very important for us to have the senior most guy do this relationship, so he understands that it is very important for him to align to our purpose. And in spite of that, if he doesn't fall in line, is when you take the call that it's time for us to move on in a relationship.
And I think communication is always super crucial. So the more you talk and the more you can actually have a proper conversation with this individual is important, and the way the tone also is set is also really crucial. So you're not trying to get into this for the they say that you need to make the conversation also seem a little more appetizing for the other individual. The intention is only that maybe we're straying from the purpose of the entire relationship. So I think having that is super crucial. they also call it making like a charitable assumption. You don't immediately assume the worst of somebody who is, having such a long-standing relationship with you.
So I think the first due diligence that we do for any mitra is to understand his reputation in the market, because if it's like a habit. If you work properly with a bunch of people, then you have automatically that habit of working with any new alliance that you work with. So looking at the reputation is very important. Then other than the reputation, you also need to see what value he is going to add to our organization. If by having that association, if he is going to enhance us or enhance the way we operate or enhance the quality of the material that we receive, we should get into that relationship. And thirdly, I think very important is for us to understand his handling of kosh, that is the money. If he is a great vendor, but if he is not a great paymaster below his line, then he may be aligned to our purpose, but he is hurting the environment overall, which will come and bite us back if we don't understand that. So following these three things are very crucial, I think. I'm sure Ilvika will have other aspects that you look at, but I think mostly I look at these three.
So for this purpose, we also have a Mitra Sampat that we refer to as a document, very, especially when we are selecting important Mitras. For a vendor, it's slightly easier. We look at as Srijit mentioned, reputation and what value are they going to bring to the table. But when you are looking at something more serious like a franchisee, there is a lot more. So as Srijit also mentioned already about the kosh, super crucial. But then we have a few other things. So there is of course the enthusiasm and the understanding of the purpose. It is important that they understand what your purpose is and that this aligns majorly, because it can also avoid major disagreements later. So we have a 6-step process of different qualities that we look for when we are looking at our prospective consultants, prospective franchisees and any other serious mitrata that we are planning to enter into. And of course, other than that, their circle of influence is also super crucial, because we need to understand how they will, do we fit like a jigsaw puzzle or not.
You have old vendors, but you will always have new, exciting, young vendors or partners who would like to get associated with you. So once he passes all the Mitra Sampat questions, then what ideally we do is that we try to get him into the business through small projects. We give him little assignments and look at the deliverables, whether it's time bound, budget bound and all those parameters. That once it ticks mark is when we say that okay, this vendor comes into our list of possible mitras, and then we look at bigger assignments for him. So he has to go through a process of small projects before he gets a bigger project.
Yeah. And I think the time of getting to know your vendor or future mitra also differs. So in the case of a vendor, it might be something small, like the project might only take a certain amount of time, maybe like 2 weeks or sometimes a month or something like that. In the case of franchisees, which is a bigger relationship that you're trying to build, because you're trying to build an entire restaurant with this individual. So we kind of it takes a bit of time. So currently all of our franchisees right now we've known for multiple years. They've all been vendors with us for about 10 years, or they've been a part of our team for a very long time, maybe sometimes even going up to 18 years. And so we know them really well, like intrinsically well. And thus when you come in to do something together, there's a lot of understanding which has already been worked out. So I think that is super, crucial. I think another one which has had a lot of financial success for us also has been our bar program again, where we really have improved or become known for our cocktails now at the restaurant, and for being one of the premier or best bar programs, where people are even sending students to get trained over here. And that is all of the result of working with different people to just keep improving our processes. So I think that is also a very big example of how selecting the right mitra can also take you to multiple places and even get the brand a lot of fame and reputation.
So as mentioned, earlier, the best way to strengthen any relationship, be it with your mitra or with your janpad or with your dand, is always to have frequent conversations and open conversations. You shouldn't just hear what people are saying, but if you see there is anything that is not being aligned, it is always good to sit face to face and have a conversation and understand whether it is really true, and if it is true, tell them that why they are, ask them that what help you need from us so that this can improve. So I think having multiple conversations and face to face conversation is very important to nurture any relationship.
Yes, and another bit, so the Mitra Sampath is a very nice tool that we use. And whatever questions are there in the Mitra Sampath where you are using it to select your Mitra, actually also apply to yourself. So, in the case of the way we handle a lot of inquiries which are coming in from different vendors that we're associated with or franchisees, we try to reply within 48 hours as a rule. Which guides a lot of us when we are in the middle of mails going back and forth, or we pick up the phone and just directly call and have a conversation. As Srijit said, communication is super crucial, and of course a few other things is getting a lot of feedback. Collecting feedback from your vendors or collecting feedback from people who are coming in is really crucial. We actually did this a few times where we would do like events or bazaars which were happening over here, and we'd have like either a casual conversation, or even at some point we did feedback forms where we'd share it with vendors and say, can you give us feedback so we understand how to improve this further for you. Another bit is giving, now if somebody has agreed to come in and work with you, helping them out is really crucial. I know a lot of us give recommendations of our vendors to other people to help improve their business. But more than that, also when we are doing different menus in collaboration with different people, or somebody supplying us with different ingredients, we also take their name on the menu, because I know that it makes them feel really special and also as a part of our universe. So I think these are the ways in which we can ensure that you're a better mitra to them as well.
For vendors, as I mentioned earlier, is once their due diligence is done with the Mitra Sampath, they are given small projects. Some of them may be given multiple projects. Some of them are given a slightly bigger project, and once they follow all the guidelines specified by the brand, we go ahead with them. But in case of franchisees, what happens is it takes a little longer. So what we do is that, see, sometimes these franchisees are big companies or big individuals. So what we do is that we meet them in different environments. So we'll have a business meet, we'll have a casual dinner meet, we'll meet them for a casual dinner with drinks, without drinks, we'll meet them at the farm, or we'll meet them at their office to see how their overall behavior is. And during that conversation, with keeping the Mitra Sampath as a guiding light, we try to ask various questions which leads us to the answers that we are looking for. And then once we come back is that we list all of that down, and then we have a meeting together and say that does this Mitra tick mark all the Mitra Sampath points that are mentioned, and then he comes on board. So the times vary, and there is a different approach for different kind of Mitras as well. I'll tell you that as an organization, I think even before we got this formal education, as a company we intrinsically had these values. That's why even before we started doing Arthashastra only about 7 or 8 years back, but we have vendors who have been with us for 19 years before that. So the Mitra Sampath part was being done, but what the formal education gave us insights into was that there is a scientific way to actually do it. So what happens is that we realize that it is trainable, and we realize that once we have more people that are trained on this, expansion becomes easier. Because if everybody is aligned to looking at a mitra or alliances the way, we as leaders don't need to be there for this entire ethos of the company to go forward. So that's the beauty of Arthashastra, is that before it happened naturally without any formal education and a formal system, but now there is a formal system and more number of people can start following it or start getting trained, so that the entire business expands in the same ethos.
And for me personally, now I had joined the company only 3 years ago. So I of course was not privy to all of the what happened before, but personally when selecting mitra for different things, I feel that it's nice to have a guideline. You might not sometimes you get a gut feeling as well, and we also do get gut feelings being when you're interacting with people, but it is nice to kind of pick that guideline up and let it really help you to make the right decision. Because sometimes if you overlook one or two, there have been instances where you've overlooked it, and then you might find yourself in the wrong alliance, which might not do really well. So I feel as someone who's just learning how business works and stuff like that, it really helps, and it feels like you've got something to refer to that will help you to make decisions in a more aware manner. So yeah, I think that's my journey with
Wonderful
using it.
insights from the both of you, Srijit and Ilvika. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful conversation, and thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.